just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away myself. I have to take away myself. I have to utilize I wings. Show the eye cleaver eyes. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. This is yours truly, Franco. I will be linking up with Flavius in a few minutes. Today we have a very special guest. And our special guest is none other than Miss Anya Gloudon. She will be joining us this morning. Later on, we'll tell you more about this young lady. But in the meantime, if you're going to get your favorite drink, whether it's your morning tea, coffee, whatever beverage that you consume this time of the morning, go ahead, because we'll be right back.
Who won't play your game? To all you move, you have me way to the core. Sayonara, the hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves. Ah, Stand up, everybody, girl, let me take away ourselves. Take away ourselves. Everybody, girl, let me take away ourselves.
This is your very own sports, music, and lifestyle podcast with Flavius and Franco. Welcome.
Yes, Flavius. Welcome.
Morning, listeners. Morning, Franco.
Morning, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Another bright day we're looking at.
Sunny day.
Yeah.
That's what the people... You know, Florida weather is very unpredictable. It started out good, and sometimes it just change. Not even before midday. Sometimes it just change. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at a bright sunshine, but not gonna, bet said gonna last for the remainder of the day. So that's how Florida weather is, very unpredictable. So what's in your cup this morning?
Oh, we had some Blue Mountain this morning.
Long time I don't hear you talk about the Blue Mountain coffee.
Yeah. We went to other stuff, other teas, and cocoa, of course. We have to balance them. So we have so many.
True.
But we're getting back around today to Blue Mountain coffee now.
I keep banging up my knees on this chair. Oh. Yes, I better push it under the desk some more. So.
Are you growing?
No. I just think I have it protrude out too far.
Okay.
So if every time I move in my little space,
Yeah.
it keep, my knees keep banging up against it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So you have to move it. So today we have a very special guest,
Oh yes.
Miss Anya Gloudon.
Yes.
Some people might know or heard of her mom,
Yes. Oh yes.
the famous Miss Barbara Gloudon as well.
Yes.
She's
But
been
Anya,
she's been in the pantomime for years, right?
yeah, man, Anya is powerful in her own right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very, very brilliant young lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of these genius quality people.
That's what you would say. It's in the blood. It's good breed.
Oh, oh yes. Oh yes.
Good breed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your famous saying, man. Your famous saying. Good breed.
Yeah,
It's in the blood.
with the pantomime, well, she'll tell you from birth,
Mm-hmm.
That is also in our blood.
Yes.
Mhm.
She follow in the footstep.
Yeah, well, she has been a major part of it for a very long time. But she'll tell us more about that today.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister, today, good you. Did you know? Is also very interesting this morning. When I came across it,
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It's
Yeah,
about
because
time.
the past few days we've been speaking about the kids and the extracurricular activities that give them the wholesome education,
Mm-hmm.
the rounded education.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna move on to the ladies, because over the past number of years, probably 10 years or years,
Mm-hmm.
there's a big call for gender equality
Mm-hmm.
in politics, and why more female are not attracted to politics.
Mm-hmm.
But we will show today and for the rest of the week, couple few days, that women have been in politics and have done extremely well.
I think I sent you a picture recently with the cabinet of 1972.
Yes, I think so. Yes,
And in the back, there's a female. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking, is that Miss Rose Leon?
No,
Okay.
that was before. Rosalynn was before that.
So that picture was what, a 1977 picture?
No. You said about 1972, right?
Yeah, Rose Leon was in Michael Manley cabinet in 72.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, man, Rose Leon.
No, I think that at that time, if she was still in politics, she would be on the other side.
JLP?
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah, man.
We're gonna talk more about it. I'm gonna do a research on her.
Yeah, I will check.
So yeah?
Oh, I know of Miss Rosalynn. Miss Rosalynn was probably the only politician that could run for both parties at any point in time.
But I'm telling the reason why I said it, because I remember where I was living in 1972. Her niece was a member of my yard, and at the time, she was on the other side. She was with the PMP at the time when I get to meet her. A matter of fact.
Well, I will check it out, because she used to jump from party to party, because she was so powerful. In fact, she was a very good friend of my father. Yeah, my father knew her extremely well. And she used to run where he used to work. Yeah, but she was a very, very powerful woman and left a serious mark on the Jamaica landscape. Because that she had the famous beauty school, Roseland Beauty School, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know a lot about her. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, very powerful lady.
Her niece was living in my yard.
Yeah. So she's one of the persons that we can do something on, because we're going to look at some of these ladies.
Hey, listen, let me tell you, I am right. From 72 to 76, she was Minister of Local Government in the Manly government.
Okay.
Because that's how I remember her, because I met the woman at the age of 12 because of her niece. She was living in my tenement yard.
Okay.
You know, she came by West Street, and that's how I get to meet her.
No, man, she was extremely powerful, man. Mm-hmm. But when you look at just one woman there.
Because you see, when you send the list, you know, I was looking at the list, and I didn't see her name, and I was like, because the list is talking about prime ministers and, you know, and things like that,
and oppositions, and government generals, But we're gonna drill down because we have a lot of icons that didn't reach that level. So we're gonna start at the top and work our way down, because I don't think most of us know that there are so many women involved. We might hear a few names who has become prime ministers, but there, as you can see, there's a lot of names there now who are presidents, who are now governor generals, things like, you know. And
that's why I mentioned the name when I look at the picture with the only woman behind the man.
Yeah. That must have been her, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's why I said that must be Rosalie-Ann.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I never met her, but my father was very close to her.
Well, I met her in 1972, the same year Michael Manley won. Because at the time, her husband, or maybe her brother, I think it's her brother, had a furniture store on West Street.
Okay.
I used to drive one of those pretty Firebird cars, you know, and I always pass it and say, one day I'm going to drive a car like that. I mean, beautiful car, man.
Yes.
But before we bring in the did, you know, I'm going to play a song that has been hitting up, you know, the airwave on our online radio. And this song, you know, people have been telling me that they love the song, you know. And then I guess some people falling in love with the artist as well, too. You know.
Okay.
So, your favorite artist, we're gonna, you know, link you up this morning with "Want You Forever," Miss Pamela.
Okay, wonderful.
And then we get right into the did you know.
Okay, wonderful.
My bad. Let me give you the right tune. Yeah, my bad.
I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you to my home to be with me forever. I really love you, baby. Want you forever. Really love you, baby. Really want you, baby. I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you to my home to be with me forever. I really love you, baby. Want you forever. Really love you, baby. Really want you, baby. Love I will give you is so powerful, so special. Under your skin it will flow through your veins. My love's insane. This love I give, I just can't stop. It's in your face, even when you turn your back. And just like a magnifying glass, the instruments will melt your heart. Oh, I wish take you to my home to be with me forever and ever. Really love you, baby. Really love you, want you forever and ever. Really want you, baby. Really want you, baby. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, forever and ever. Yeah, yeah. I know you're wondering why my love is so strong. It's 'cause I see something in you pushing me on. The day you try to chase my love away is when you know my love was meant to stay. 'Cause this love I give, I just can't stop. It's in your face, oh yeah. When you turn your back, I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you home with me forever. Oh, really want you, baby. Really love you, baby. Want you forever. Ever. Really want you, baby. Really want you, baby. Love I will give you is so powerful, special. Under your skin it will flow through your vein. My love's insane. This love I give, I just can't stop. I just can't stop. It's in your face, even when you turn your back. Hey, it's just like a magnifying glass. Yeah, the heat that I transmit will melt your heart. Hey, I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you home to be with me forever. Yeah.
Yes, yes, indeed. The beautiful voice and big tune. Want you forever. We're going to bring back in Flavius, the man responsible for Did You Know? Flavius.
Yes, we're back. We're back. Okay. All right. Today we're going to look at. Okay. Let me fix that with this. Over the past number of years, probably 10, 15 years, there's a lot of conversation going on. Really, gender balance or lack thereof in the political landscape in the Caribbean. We had a few very prominent and powerful women, but nowhere near the numbers that most of us are thinking we should have. I mean, I am seeing where that is being looked into now. You know, in the last Jamaican election, the PNP, the JLP had 14 women who won their seats. I don't know the exact number for PNP, but they had a very good amount. In their Senate allocation, they allocated an even balance, 4 men and 4 women. So people are giving real thought to trying to attract the female of the species to be a part of our political process. And a lot of people are saying that the women have been the best managers over the years. Because they have to look after the family, they have to,
True, I agree with that.
The small budgets that they have to work with, and they make it work. They make their families happy, and them, you know, they feed the kids and their husbands and whatever. So they can do the magic, you know, they can do the balancing act. And folks also say that they are much calmer than the men. So they can sit down and, deliberate about different topics over a longer period. Calmness is very important, especially when you deal with critical things that affect the lives of everybody in the country, everybody in the region. So this morning we're going to look at most or all of these ladies who have reached the heights within the Caribbean. And we're going to mention those who have been, who is present now, and also those that are in opposition. During the next few days, we'll break it down a bit and give you an individual look at most of these ladies, who they are, what have they done, what else apart from politics. See what we can, learn about them, because we need to know about them. I think it's very, very important. So I'll ask Arthur to give us this today's synopsis of women in politics in the Caribbean.
Women in politics in the Caribbean. Throughout the Caribbean, women are actively involved in politics, from the organization level to serving in parliament, with several presiding officers being women. In recent years there have been 11 heads of government. Dominica was first in 1980, Haiti and Bermuda have each seen it done 3 times, Jamaica has had it twice with the same woman, and both Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago have had women run the country. Female heads of state/government in the region have included Dame Mary Eugenia Charles, Prime Minister, Dominica, 1980 to 1995. Claudette Worley, Prime Minister, Haiti, 1995 to 1996. Janet Jargon, President, Guyana, 1997 to 1999. Portia Simpson Miller, Prime Minister, Jamaica, 2006 to 2007, 2012 to 2016. Michel Pierre-Louis, Prime Minister, Haiti, 2008 to 2009. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago, 2010 to 2015. Pamela Gordon, Premier, Bermuda, 1997 to 1998. Jennifer Smith, Premier of Bermuda, 1998 to 2003. Paula Cox, Premier of Bermuda, 2010 to 2012. Bertha Pascal Trujillo, President of Haiti, 1990 to 1991. Dame Louise Lake Tack, Governor-General of Antigua and Barbuda, 2007 to 2014. Dame C. Perlette Louise E., Governor-General of St. Lucia, 1997 to 2017. Current women heads of state. Her Excellency Dame Sandra Mason, Governor-General, Barbados, the 8th of January 2018, present. Her Excellency Lucille Jorwout, Governor, Curaçao, the 4th of November 2013, present. Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade, Governor-General, Grenada, the 7th of May 2013, present. Her Excellency Susan Duggan, Governor-General, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the 1st of August, 2019, present. Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, President, Trinidad and Tobago, the 18th of March 2018, present. The Governor-General is the representative of the head of state, the monarch Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Current women heads of government. The Honourable Evelyn Weaver Croce, Prime Minister, Aruba, the 17th of November 2017, present. The Honourable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister, Barbados, the 25th of May 2018, present. The Honourable Charlene Cartwright Robinson, Premier, Turks and Caicos Islands, the 9th of December 2016, present. Current women leaders of the opposition. The Honourable Parmaven Webster, Leader of the Opposition, Anguilla, the 24th of April 2015 and present. The Honourable Jean J. Aherden, Leader of the Opposition, Bermuda, the 21st of November 2017 and present. The Honourable Kamala Persad Bissessa, Leader of the Opposition, Trinidad and Tobago, the 9th of September 2015 and present. I am Arthur Kaiser, with today's Did You Know? Thank you for watching the Real Stuff podcast.
Yes, Flavius, there you go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Arthur. So, we have looked at the top level, but just a synopsis, just looking at an overall thing. So, when we move on from here, we will take them out individually and have a good look at them. Now we know who they are, I mean, by their name and where they come from and all of that. We can look at their history a little bit more, so we can get to know them. Some are not in those positions anymore at the first set, but we still want to know who they are. And then we look at the present ones now that we definitely need to know who they are and, see what they are doing and follow their progress, because that's very important to the region. And as you can see, it's quite a few and a good amount of time. And strangely enough, we are seeing, Franco, where most of the governor generals now are women.
Good movements.
Even the Canadian governor general is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As them say, them not have acted like the men. And
that's it. Yeah.
they can be good governors.
Calm.
Good leaders.
Much calmer.
Them can balance. I think they will balance the budget more than these guys, because all the men do squander. Yeah. Yeah, them a bunch of squanders and always want to start a war. Spur
at the moment. Yeah.
So,
don't give it enough thoughts.
We have there have been a couple women in the continent of Africa too who
yes. All
are leading
the women
the
are
countries.
taking their rightful place beside the men, taking their rightful place.
That's true.
That is, when you go to a meeting of countries now, it's not all men anymore. You have a good balance of men and women, which is very good.
And today our guest is another powerful woman. Believe it or not, she'll be joining us in a few minutes.
So extremely powerful. Yes.
A little bit more palm oil, and then we will be linking up with Miss Anya Gloudon.
Yeah. I know you're wondering why my love is so strong. It's 'cause I see something in you pushing me on. The day you try to chase my love away is when you know my love was meant to stay. This love I give, I just can't stop. It's in your face, oh yeah. When you turn your back, I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you home with me forever. Oh, really want you, baby. Really love you, baby. Want you forever. Really want you, baby. Really want you, baby. Love I will give you is so powerful, special. Under your skin it will flow through your veins. My love's insane. This love I give, I just can't stop. It's in your face, even when you turn.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to be bringing in my guest, Miss Anya Gloudon. But I'm going to make Arthur take it from here. So Arthur, could you please?
Anya Gloudon is a trained graphic designer who has been involved in graphic design and the theatre industry for over 20 years. She is a member of the creative team of the Little Theatre Movement and creates costumes and props for the annual national pantomimes. She also manages the LTM's social media and website and maintains the archives for the LTM pantomime and other LTM productions. Her involvement in theatre has led to a deep interest in Jamaican culture and history. From being in the belly at the historic Ward Theatre during the heydays of the pantomime to producing the most recent pantomime Ruckshon Junction. She has grown up around Jamaica's theatre and arts scene. Her graphic design work with behaviour change programs has also given her a unique view of what's happening in Jamaica, as through her work she seeks to influence change for a better tomorrow. Kings and Queens. Here is Anya.
Morning again, Anya. Morning.
Morning. I feel special.
You're special. In case you didn't know, you're special to us. And I hope to a lot of people as well. So is everything.
Not bad at all. I was listening earlier and you were talking about Rose Leon. We did in the summers with the Pantomime Company, we do more historical and cultural pieces than we do for the pantomime. And one of the things we did was a production called Women Who Roar.
Okay.
Which looked at different Jamaican women and their contributions. And one of the persons that we looked at was Rose Leon.
Good.
And an interesting thing to note about her, the politics was one thing, but one of her, I think, outstanding achievements is the Leon School of Beauty Culture, because what that did was it gave a kind of formality and a kind of respectable view to women who were doing what they term beauty culture.
Okay.
Which for some people is also like a hairdressing, like a nails, like a this. But that's the kind of thing that
in those days, in those days is if you can make it in school, that's a little thing you can try.
Exactly, you know? Exactly. It was a little dash of trade to kind of keep you busy and say you're doing something.
And she
gave it, a more. By working within a curriculum and having a school structure, she gave it the kind of respectability that you have now. Yeah.
Okay. I used to figure it would have been type in school, you know. They would,
When you had the type in school too, but that's for those who are more read.
Okay.
It's just kind of two ways you have to go. You have to go a little type in school, or you go a little beauty school. And the parents don't feel too bad, say, you never passed nothing, and you couldn't go to big school.
Okay.
It was a very bad wash on the people. But she changed all of that.
Right. In fact, I remember clearly. There was one occasion where she asked my mother to come and speak to the graduates. So she made sure that they had like a graduating ceremony, so they feel like somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and my mom went and spoke there, and it was just something that someone else said to me later on down the road, that they felt like big people, because normally you don't have no schooling and people just kind of dash away. And for them to put on the gown and thing and them walk across the stage and collect them like a certificate, it was something that gave them a sense of purpose and a sense of meaning and made them feel like they could be somebody too.
Okay.
So that really is an important thing for her.
That also led to art creating a beauty school also, after.
Exactly, which is now quite professional and highly respected.
Very prestigious.
Wow.
Very prestigious. And it all starts with her.
That's right.
Yeah, I met her back in 1972. I was about 12 going on 13. And at the time I was living in West Kingston in a tenement yard, and her niece was a member in my yard. And that's how I met her, because I think either her brother or her husband, some family member of hers, had a furniture store on West Street. And
right.
I accompanied her there, and that's how I met the lady. You know,
Yeah,
wonderful,
man.
wonderful personality.
She was quite something. Her daughter later took over the running of the school. I am not entirely sure if she's still involved in the running now because she has also gone up in age. But they did maintain for quite a while, you know, just the ways of. And plus she was also in manufacturing as well because she produced her little hair dyes and shampoos and that kind of thing. So she really was quite a rounded woman apart from just the politics alone. She really was in every facet of life.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you for the education on that part of it.
One of the best politicians we ever had.
Yeah, because the picture that I sent to you, in that picture is all men except one woman. And I said this has to
And
be.
she never joke.
Yeah, this has to be Rose.
And she never joke.
Yeah.
She never sat back. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think they put her to run. I think they put her to run down in St. James. And the concern was how would she be able to get from Kingston to St. James, and she just jumped in her car and drive one because according to her, the work had to be done, and there was nothing that was going to stop her from doing the work.
Yeah. Was she ever honored? Was she ever honored?
I do believe so. I think I believe so. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I'm almost certain that she got a national honor.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good to know that. So, let's talk about you now. You're another powerful woman, believe it or not. I want to know as much as I can know about the pantomime creative stuff, the whole backdrop, etc., etc. The last time we spoke, you were giving us a little insight of what happened in the theater.
All right. Well, same thing. I mean, just as we found a way to bring the information on Rosalie onto the stage and educate the audience that year. That's the kind of thing that the pantomime has grown into. There's a lot of competing entertainment out there. So what we have made sure that our footprint covers a kind of cultural and historical aspect of who we are as Jamaican people. So since so much of our contemporary culture is built and strengthened by persons like Louise Bennett and Ronnie Williams, who were, you know, stalwarts in the pantomime. We've continued that just to be sure that we don't lose it. Because if you don't put it out there, either somebody is going to put it out there and put their name on it.
True.
And not necessarily a Jamaican person too. You know, there have been rumors about persons of other places trying to trademark and copyright reggae and dancehall and things like that. Because if we don't value it, they certainly do, and then we take it from you and make money off it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that is what we want to do. We want to make sure that our cultural things, whatever those things are captured. And the best way to do is put it on stage, make it entertaining. When a child sees what some people know as a Caliban or a fringe on stage, then them go back and ask him mother, ask him teacher, what is that, miss? And then can say, oh, that is how they to catch bird.
Oh,
you know, he might not know it. He might not know it from living in this lane, in that corner of contemporary Jamaica. But you know, him can still, if they are grown up past, him will know what to do next time when him say one. So I mean, we put that in as a theatrical piece, but it's all based on culture. It's all based on our history and who we are and what we used to do and what we should still be doing. Yeah.
Have you guys ever do anything on the origin of the music from the Mentor, Kumina, Ska, Rocksteady, reggae?
Not formally, in the sense of this is a story that chronicles with the different types. But we always make sure that we have a blend of genres in our work because we are still a musical and we pride ourselves on that we have a live band. I mean, although COVID is planning to mash up with life, we're not gonna make it go so still. But yeah, we create music every year for the shows. Sometimes it might be a reworking of songs we had before, but generally it's almost always original music. If it's not original, it's because it might be something specific. Like for instance, when we work with the Louis Bennett estate and take one of our poems and make that into a song that applies to the story that we have on
Okay.
stage. So we always have a link going, and every once in a while we reach out to somebody who can help us. Like one year, Barris allowed us to sing one of the songs in part of our show. So I mean, we're always trying to keep that cultural link. But we make a very great effort to make sure that we have different genres to it. So when you come to a show, you're gonna hear some ska, you're going to hear some mental, you're going to hear old time stanky. And dancehall, of course, and you will hear even some of the newer stuff. We are Caribbean people, so you're going to hear a little soca jump in there. So we make sure that we do cover the different genres, rock steady, reggae. We go for the traditional beats too. So you will hear us with the Afro beats, right, and the traditional rhythms as well. We'll do the gere, the kumina. On all of that and make sure that we have it in.
So like how we are in this COVID mode now, what are the plans that the theatre are looking into? Because I know no one can go to the theatre now; it's not open.
Right. Well, right now it's closed, and we're watching to see what will happen. So right now we're looking with one eye.
Any plan and start like creating a bubble? Because I've seen, I was watching this last night on TV, Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
And they created a bubble for all the dancers and the ones who go, help the
additional performers, right.
And they had created a bubble of them there. I mean, everybody got tested, etc.,
right.
Kept them there.
Well, our difficulty is because we are a group of, we could have called us semi-professionals. So people have them life on them home, that they need to go to. So that is part of our challenge, how we would figure out how to keep people safe, both the actors and the audience. Keeping the audience safe is a little bit easier because we can enforce social distancing in the theater itself. We can make sure that they are coming in one way, heading out the other to minimize flow, right? But for the persons on stage, that is a little bit more challenging. I mean, there's the fear, the noted fear of singing, where because you are working the lungs and the diaphragm, the possibility of spray and droplets go further when you're singing and pouring through a song. So we would have to consider how we handle that. I mean, does that mean you go for lip syncing? God forbid, you think that people must sing and sound must come out of their mouth.
Yeah.
But these are some of the things that we've been trying to think through. How do you work together and keep yourself safe? Knowing that, and we have to go home to them family. A lot of our cast members are teachers. They work in other jobs. So they go to their job in the 9 to 5 and then they come for a rehearsal at 6. And then, so it's rough. It's a sticky, tricky kind of thing.
It's funny how you mentioned
the bubble can't work in that case, no.
It's funny.
The bubble would be a full community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny how you mentioned the lip syncing a while ago, and it just came to my mind that if you're going to say, for instance, you're going to do a play, but everybody going to read them lines and it's recorded. And in order for you to go on stage, you're going to have a mic, a dummy mic, of course, strap around your ears. And then the actors would be wearing masks. So for each person lines, it would be the audio coming over, the recorded audio. And then they would just,
the difficulty with that is that we rely so much on body language and expression to carry things through. And especially for us Jamaican people, say, well, we can't talk with our mouth, you can point on somebody with your two lips, then push to the side. And when you cock your head, so you know exactly what you mean. So there are some challenges in obscuring someone's face for that kind of purpose. But it's going to be a very tricky kind of thing. I was talking with Pierre Lemire, who teaches the dynamics of movement for theatre. and they're starting back classes at Ednaman College, which is across the road from us at the Little Theatre. And he says it's tough. He's trying to do a movement class and he's doing it via Zoom. And he has these exercises where, you stand on a chair, go under the chair, crawl through the chair, so you understand how your body works in space. And you're doing that with a student, and then the student says, "Sir, I can't do it anymore. Come and step on it. I'm enough to stand by the chair." So it's rough. It affects how we also relate to each other, because that's part of the magic of theater, how you work with the persons who are around you. So it's tricky and it's sticky. Because you need that feedback from the audience. You need that feedback from your fellow actor.
I see. I've been thinking. I haven't heard anything out of Jamaica about the government coming in and helping out, like the theater and the musicians as such. And
there has been some word said that there would be some kind of, they'll work out some way how they can help the entertainment industry, but the tricky thing is what they view as the entertainment industry. There are many persons who are involved in the entertainment industry but don't have like accreditation or a formal representation in the industry. So like, for instance, the guys who would dance in the street dances at night. They are a vital part of the industry, because that's what gives the dance the hype. It's what calls people to the dance. But how do they prove that I am a dancer if they don't have something to say that I go to this dance at night time and sing, apart from maybe to show a video and say, "Me there, me was there, so therefore this is what me do." So it's difficult, because we are very informal in a way in how we approach the entertainment industry. They're trying to get persons to register with the Ministry of Youth and Culture and Information, just to let people understand just how many persons are involved in the creative industry and how they can be helped. The difficulty is that the money, where do you find the money for? And then there are persons who don't take kindly to that. Them say, we need ventilator, we need oxygen, where you get a man will sing on stage money for. Although that man who sings on stage, he employs 4 or 5 other persons, and those 4 or 5 other persons have families that they need to support as well.
Yeah. So the industry basically is at a standstill.
A complete and total just pause.
And a lot of people being hurt.
With the one, And it's not just the professionals or the persons who work in the industry. There are other side effects to it that I don't know if we're considering. For us at the Little Theatre, we rent the theatre to like groups like Vaz, Dance Troupe, Tivoli Dance Troupe, schools that have their concerts and such. Those children who benefit from these activities aren't really getting that now. And that is a portion of their life that will be missing. And for some of these children, that is something that they desperately need. For a child who is in a room with them other family members and they get a chance to go to school, and after school them go to a dance class where them can run up and down in the space and teachers say jump, and them not tell you say enough to jump. Them tell you to sing and them not tell you say sing too loud. It's that outlet that they need. That's not happening now.
Wow.
If you are virtually learning at home, how many parents are okay with their child standing on the veranda and just singing out as loud as them very well pleased? Without telling them, quiet yourself, stand the academy, but them are going to cost you, make too much noise.
Yeah, that's true. That's one.
Just what we spoke about yesterday and Monday, Franco. Extracurricular activities
are taking a beating.
Yeah, without them, half the education process gone.
Yeah.
That's true, because we use the arts to help children learn as well. The teachers are very good at how they structure their things to make sure they understand and learn and get that chance to suck in the information in a different way.
So where do you guys go from here now?
I wish we knew, but we just have to. We can't sit down and not do nothing. We still have to get up and try something.
Well,
So I mean, whether it is streaming or doing things online, but then is that really theater if it's not in the space where you have that community experience? Because that's the sweetest thing about theater, when you go out and you sit down beside and you see the people beside you laughing and you're feeding off of their energy too. But also the pantomime when the school groups coming from country and then take that bus coming from whichever part of the parishes they're coming from. And then come to the theater and they walk in those doors and they see the space and the curtains and the lights and sound and all of that. And then they go back in the bus and on the way home them talk about what they saw and what they experienced and their favorite part. And some never like that one day and they just love that one day. And they have that community bonding as they go back home.
Yeah, that's true.
That is missing.
Another part of your creative side is graphics designing.
Presentation.
I was asking Flavius the other day about a gentleman who did a book. I don't know if you do like a photography as well, but he did a book. All right, he did a book about it's a pictorial about Jamaica.
Rachel.
What's his name?
Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rachel. Yes, he really is another. That's like a picture of Jamaica that
I
that
love it. I love it. I love that book.
The way he captures the scenery and the people and that's culture right there in that book. And that's another thing too, because that captures things that have gone. There's one of the earlier books. There's Rachel in Jamaica. I can't remember what the second one is. I think there's 2 or 3 books that he has. 2 I know for sure. There might be a third. I can't quite remember if there's a third, but I know 2 for sure. And one of the first books that he did, the one with Jamaica, has a picture of the lady sitting down in front of the glass case with the cut cake and they pull the candy. And that's in the case beside her. But how much picnic them know about Snickers and them know about jujube that comes in a plastic package. But they don't know about Jamaican pulled candy when they heat the sugar until and they pull it until it is stretchy and they form it into a candy cane and they twirl it and they don't know that happened there.
That's true.
And I think that's an art that's probably disappearing too.
You're talking about anatomy.
There you go. How much people know about anatomy too?
Yeah, but did you know that anatomy is the capital of candy cane?
Never know either.
I did not know that.
Yes.
But is that still in practice much?
Nope.
But you think that is something that somebody needs to do?
I tried to revive it on more than one occasion, and it just never happened. I'll try again. But yeah, man, all the candy cane that you used to see came from anatomy. And them can do all kind of things.
Okay.
But when they needed support,
but you know what is funny? Right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying the funny thing is them will sit down and watch Food Network TV and watch candy cane makers and all of that and say, wow, I don't realize that them have that talent in their own community that they can develop as well. So think about it. Anatomy is along the tourism belt. So for like a thing, one day a tour bus come this way and show them how we pull the candy canes and stuff and all of that. Could it? A little money can make off our community group with that.
Oh yes. I mean, the professionals are here. Most of them are still here.
Good.
So it can.
But then maybe it's a smaller thing. Maybe it's just a day workshop.
Yeah.
Show interested persons how to do that for one day, and see where it belongs from there.
Yeah, see where it go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's important. That these parts of our culture is more than just sweetie. It's more than just kayali. It's more than just shake hip and dance. It's a link to who we were. And if you lose that link, you are not entirely sure who you're going to end up as when you get to where you're reaching.
Oh, yeah. That is true. That is
The
true.
world loves us because we are Jamaican.
Oh yeah.
What makes
Oh
us
yeah.
Jamaican? And if we lose all the things that make us Jamaican,
Then who are we? Nobody. Nobody.
We're gonna make it, man. Don't worry on ourselves because I've been
no, we
watching.
not give up. There are enough people who are working. There are enough people who are
I've
working.
been seeing stuff that because I know one of the thing that are really causing Jamaica entertainment not to be back on stream is really the funding. And if
For
if we,
sure.
if we don't have the funding to really put people like in a bubble and thing like that, then it won't work because as we know, not everyone are professionals. Some of them have them 9 to 5,
Right.
so acting, theater, whatever is not really a side job. It's something where they love, and some of them want to be professionals at it as well. So looking at these events coming back, and even though it's coming back, and the government, and I'm using, some people don't like use government because they figure the government are pride too much into them life, but I'm saying things like these, this is when the government step up because the tax paying dollars should be now presenting to us, and it's this little thing like this get me concerned because it's an industry that we cannot keep it away from society for too long. Because some people
Right.
feed
Right.
off it, some people them get solace from the theater, music, you name it. So this is when the government
That's
should
true.
stuff up. So in years to come, they should have a fund now put aside for all of these, like a pandemic fund. Just like how we hear Barbados, so them going to do this and them going to do that. There's money allocated for every industries. And we cannot afford to make these things suffer. You understand me, sir?
That is the thing. We don't value the arts quite enough here, which is a problematic thing. Like for instance, for even like when I was going to art school, there are persons who were in that first year class with me who said it's hide and take the arts, so them parents don't want them to do the sciences and thing alone. Where you waste the time with arts for. And it's hide and do the CXC get the one I said, but still get the grades here, can I go to art school? And some of those persons who I know that is what they're making them good living after and using that to help look after the parents who didn't go study the sciences instead.
That's true.
And that, we need to value the arts.
As you talk about that, give us a little thing about how you started into this thing.
Well, I am lucky to have always had creativity around me in many different ways. My father's a lover of nature, so his thing is orchids. He goes into the bushes and finds Jamaican orchids in this corner of that land and things. So I've always had creativity around me. Of course, my mother is a playwright, journalist, songwriter. So I was handbag when she was on her way to rehearsals, soaking it all up. And because of, even with her journalism, she covered the art beat for a while. So I was like at gallery openings and that kind of thing. So I've always been exposed to the art. So that kind of creative outlet was always there for me. I didn't necessarily know I would have ended up in theatre quite the way that I did. I knew I wanted to do art. At first I thought I was going to be a painter. And I tell you the truth. When I went to art school and I did a rotation through the different mediums and expressions, painting, sculpture, ceramic. And I sat in on one of these painting critiques. And it was like, people trying to express the depth of what. So I have here a cup, and the cup is the emptiness of the soul and thing. I'm saying, you know what? We can't tell them line about what me do, me don't think we can follow them line there. Me don't think we can follow them line there. So I switched to graphic art. So so I switched to graphic arts, and that's kind of where it came from. And then I found that allowed me to do a whole lot more And
Express yourself.
it also, yes, it gave me a chance to find different ways of combining the things that I love. Because if I didn't do art, I probably would have been a teacher. And I find that I'm able to bring all of those things together because with my art I can teach.
Exactly.
When I do work for the Ministry of Health on anti-HIV stigma,
Mm-hmm.
and I can use my imagery and my graphic abilities to make a poster that somebody's gonna put on a wall
Mm-hmm.
and look at it and get that message
Mm-hmm.
and carry that message away when they leave wherever they saw that on the wall. For me, that there's a certain kind of fulfillment in that as well. So it kind of feeds all the aspects of what I love to do, and I am happy and I'm grateful that I have been able to work in areas that I like. I mean, I work with Flavio when he's working on the Maroon conference.
Mm-hmm.
And we love that because that is a part of our culture that is so deep and so rich.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to have my little fingers somewhere in there,
Mm-hmm.
that sweetness of it.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Are you thinking of putting a book together with works that you have done? Some work that you know that was rejected, but for you, you figure say if it would reach the public would have a better understanding of it. So you said these are my
I don't
work.
know. My
Think about it strongly.
I don't know. My problem is
Think about it strongly.
my problem is I've always been a backstage person. I've always been just behind the scenes, doing what I do from there. And so and there's joy in that because
Well, I've seen some
from
of your,
being
I've seen
backstage
some of
I've
your
been
work.
able to see different things.
I've seen some of your work and it's really impressive. And when Flavius, told me who you are, I was like, wow. And you were saying, yeah, she used to work with your friend. I said, yeah. And I say, yeah, man. So I know, you're coming from a good school with good influence. Yeah. And a good co-worker too at the time, so I know that you should be thinking about putting, your work. It's just your work. Put it together so that in years to come.
If I was to do that, I think what I would more want to do is maybe some of the little things that have stuck with me and affected me throughout the years. Maybe it's to find ways of bringing that forward to somebody else. I love a good Jamaican proverb. I think proverbs are the greatest things ever. I once had a discussion with somebody who said that somebody else said to him that the problem with patois, or that person felt the problem with patois is that they couldn't express abstract thoughts because our language is very tactile. The things we say and the things we do relate to everyday tactile, so it relates to everyday life. So when we say poto, we're referring to mud. We're referring to how the mud feels and that kind of thing. So his thing was that person was telling him that patois couldn't express abstract thoughts, but then I struggled with that idea for a very long time, and then I realized that no, that's not quite right. Proverbs, although proverbs speak to the same kind of physical and tactile things, proverbs are still an abstract thought, but it's just grounded in reality. So when them say fish go river bottom, fish come from river bottom and tell you say it cool down there, believe him. That is an abstract thought. If you follow it to the finer details, but it's also a real practical thing. Him live down there, so he must know how down there stays.
Exactly. I think that Jamaican proverbs are some of the most powerful what you call it, thoughts or abstract thought, whatever it is. But it's a reality because I remember my grandparents love use proverbs. They will tell you things and you always figure it out for yourself. And that's one of the things I learned from them.
That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
That's the other
Figure it
thing
out
too.
for
Yeah.
yourself.
How you interpret it.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I
Here's
think the
one
Jamaican language,
that
I think the Jamaican language is the most descriptive language there is.
for sure.
I mean, you can describe anything to the fullest with our language.
That's right. I agree.
Some of it,
But here's a
you don't want to say in public, but you can be described.
Well, all right. So like my favorite curse word. The reason I like it is because your mouth forms in a particular way. There's an expellation of air when you say it, and your diaphragm contracts if you say it good. So when a man bad driver and you just Lego that,
It starts with B. It starts with B, right?
It starts from inside me. Oh, you mean? And when your mouth form that word and it goes through the lip them and come out.
It starts with B and end with T, right?
Right. And sometimes I don't go all the way to the end. Sometimes I stop with the first syllable. But there's not more expressive than that.
My favorite one is not a cuss word, but my mother always used that one and say, "Puss and dog now have the same luck," and trust me.
Have the same luck. That's right.
I find that out one of the hardest way at school. And when I go home and I tell her, she say, "Me not tell you, say puss and dog now have the same luck. What your cousin do and get away with it, you now go get and go do it and I must get away."
It's not necessarily what you're going to get away with.
Right.
There you go.
I always
Jacka say the word no level.
Oh yeah.
Jacka see the problem and no say it no fear. And then they're the ones that link. So Jacka said the word no level. But then we can stand and cook it and cut straight.
Oh yes.
Well, since you love the proverbs, then you could put a book together.
So even though, that might be something that I would consider. Even though things are not clear, we'll find ways to go on the car and make it right. Yeah.
I have one for you. I have a question from a guest. I said, "This is a question for the guest. How intrusive is the vulgarity that take place in the dancehall to the Jamaican culture and its effect on the future?"
Okay, I think we probably need to pick that apart a little bit more, because we have, all right, there is what we do, and what we do sometimes is not suitable for every audience. It doesn't mean that it is not valid for its particular purpose in that particular space. But as old timer always said, there's a time and a place for everything.
True.
And not everything good to eat, good to talk. Right? So some of the things that they do in that space is done for a particular reason. And you might not agree with how they do it, but what you need to do is to understand why they're doing it. And then you can figure out why is it that some of the things are so physically intrusive to the woman in that space. What is it in their background that says that this is how that they must attack a woman in a dance and call it a dance?
Okay.
But then there are the occasions where it is the woman who spins it around and the woman that is in control of that particular movement. When she hold him a particular way and she do a thing a particular way, that is her way of exerting control. And that might be the only outlet she has for exerting control for that time. Okay. When she go back home, she might get called down. So this might be her release. This might be her chance to shine and to stand up and so and say, "Buddy, look at me, see me here." Right? So I can't just draw a line to it and say, "Volga, no." You have to look at it and say, why them do it that way? And sometimes you have to pick a little bit out of that and say how you can work it so that you put more and I hesitate to say value because it sounds like in the other space it's not valuable. But you put a different context to it so that you understand that it is more than that. I mean, people watch, like, for instance, the dancehall queen competitions and things. I say, oh my God, can you imagine she's doing this and she's blah, 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 blah. How could and them have heart palpitations. Okay, all right. Stop, watch the sequin rider that she have on. Watch her muscle control as she stands on her head.
True.
If that woman did have the right training, she could be an Olympic gymnast. So not everything that is gritty and unsettling to the taste is not worthwhile or is detrimental. It will be detrimental if you don't figure out why it is that way, how it is that way, and how to correct some of the things that are wrong in the inequality of what they're doing. But then to correct it is not necessary to say that it's dirty, slack, and nasty. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It might be to say, all right, here what? This is fine for you as an adult. Let's not teach that to our children. When they are old enough to understand what those body movements imply and mean, then you can let them know that there's also no shame in their body and how they move their body.
True.
But it's all the context that you put it in. So I can't say that some of these things are detrimental. I think what it needs to be is contextualized. So like I said, even with the curse words, people don't particularly want to know that a decent, upstanding young woman that may curse. But sometimes that is the pressure gauge.
And the expression where you come across and you have to express yourself for that person, realize, oh yes, that's how she feel and that's what she mean.
Yeah. And then there are persons who unfortunately do not respond unless you prove to them that them can't mess with you.
You're right.
And then after them realize that you can't go push me so far and no further, and you book your wall, then them realize that okay, you need to value that person just as you value yourself.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Because I remember, I was in a group of people once, and we were talking, just talking, and then this guy just blow it out of his mouth, blah, 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 and we were just shocked, because we said normally this guy is an uptown guy. You understand? In the workplace, we have never heard him, talk like that. But then another guy said, "Well, man, that the influence are your nephew, so that could help push that out of you." But it was his true expression. Yeah, it was his true expression because
the person who you saw every day was holding back something that needed to come out at some point in time.
Because the days after, when we tell him what happened, him say, "No, that's how I really felt." But sometimes because where he's at, him can't really do it because him around family members, etc. But around us, him feel that comfortable. I say, So I understand that.
And there's value in that. I hate that term that they now have about safe space. But for him, he felt he was in a safe space to express himself.
Yeah. And that one of the beauty of Jamaica culture, and people ask me all the while, I want to have so much white people and other different race. I want to have that racial war. I said the tension is there, but we don't really bring it out. But people talk about it. It's there. People talk about it. So you can have two person from different background, different race too, and work together, and they are good friends. And if a tension should start, and you say, "Boy, you saw them treat the black people, them and go, that guy who you work with from a different race, him not gonna feel offended right there." So
right.
And if him do, him gonna say, "You can't be generalizing because I don't like that,"
I think it's a lot of people laugh about the out of many one people thing and say, "Boy, it's not so. It's one. Some of the many not getting nothing out of the out of many, and it's only one people getting the most out of it." And in some respects, there is that because there is a particular inequality that exists in our country that we can't really hide from. But the one thing that I think is good is, and I was saying it to somebody, that our general attitude of don't afraid for. Where, for the most part, we are not intimidated by certain things.
Okay.
that allows us the freedom to let it out and let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Tosh, in his very Toshian way,
Mm-hmm.
sang his songs of fight and belligerence and rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And yet had no problem working with Mick Jagger because him don't afraid for. Him
Yeah.
don't afraid for.
Mm-hmm.
And in that understanding of I see you for who you are and you should see me for who I am, the two of them had that kind of understanding of where that musical relationship was. Because the things that Tosh says, if you read them straight on a page, you'd wonder then, oh, could I work with a white man
Yeah.
from over there so and who rock and roll and then thing that which is you could consider Babylon thing, but it's not that. It's the thing of I value the artistic side of you.
Mm-hmm.
Respect.
That's right. It's respect. I have my political views and if I will say it, we hear it. If you are uncomfortable with it, find out why you are uncomfortable with it. What is it that makes you upset when I say that?
True,
Is it because it is true and you're hiding from that truth, or is it because you don't think it is true and you need to help me understand your perspective?
Wow. That's true, Anya. That's true. But
Yeah,
I still want to see you put out a book, and the reason why is because I've seen your work, and I think there are some powerful statement in the way how graphics is being expressed now.
That's true.
You're doing it different from everybody. That's my opinion.
let me just
I
a few
hope I don't
words on
offend no
that.
one. I hope I don't offend my friend. But you're
Well,
doing it different.
let me say a few words on that because Anya, as you know, does graphics. I mean, tremendous graphics, right? And she has been helping out Slowly Jamaica and the Maroon Conference, and now the Real Stuff podcast. She's the person behind all our presentations. But my thing with Anya now, which I would ask her if she could say a few words on, is that graphics is graphics, and a lot of people can do graphics. The creativity and innovation is so different. Because if I bring a concept to Anya and say, okay, I would like that, I know I will get it exactly what I asked for. But I will not necessarily get what I expect. Because she find a way to make it completely unique. When did this come along? When did this come along? Or this was there all the time?
You know what it is? It's
Only the
because
concept. It's only the concept.
It comes from reading a lot.
I think your animations are some of the best I've seen. Them tough. You understand? Really tough. I never see a caterpillar smile and weird yet, No, it just show you that it's the caterpillar is a we know same turn into a butterfly after. But if you see a caterpillar, you're going to consider him to be something sad. Kind of move slowly and things like that, But then him have a smile
But
on his
there's value
face.
in that.
Yeah,
because him understanding purpose. I take my time and get to where I need to go. Sure. But yeah, we think it comes from flavors. It comes from reading a lot. It comes from there's something that Professor Rex Bedford, who is my mother's very good friend, we refer to him as Uncle Rex, said. He says it is important to be educable, which means willing to learn, to be able to take in information. And I think that is something that has been a benefit to me, is that I am always willing to take in information, even if it's information I don't like. And I sit down and I process that, and then I find a way to put it back out in the way that is needed. There is nothing more boring than your first assignment as a graphic artist is to lay out journal presentation of medical reports. Absolutely boring.
Just
But I had
plain.
to read it.
Plain.
Yeah, I had to read it. I had to make sure that the lines were in the right order, the breaks were in the right place, and all of that. And then years down the line, somebody said something to me about their sister having breast cancer, and I said to them, "Have you spoken to the doctor about a lumpectomy rather than a mastectomy?" And they said, "Eh?" And I said, "Yeah." My first assignment had a report on some doctors' refusal to do a lumpectomy over mastectomy and not understanding the context of that and the figure. So, yeah, it was boring at the time, but it's okay.
Okay.
So, being willing to learn, being willing to absorb, I think um, is what makes me do my work in a particular way. When I teach, sometimes I teach graphic design for CPTC, Media Technology Institute. And the one thing I always tell the students is think sideways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like they think outside of the box thing, because everybody who has ever said that to me is so far inside the box and can't even see where the lid is. They say it to you because it's a catchphrase they've heard. But if they were to ever come, if they ever look over the top of the box, they're afraid I'll go back inside.
Yes.
But think sideways. I said there are always different ways of doing something. A to B is the general way you're taught to think. But sometimes you need to go A1, A2, and then come to B. So think sideways.
Think sideways.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Don't think outside the box. You might go out and don't like what you see.
No, most people who them afraid can't done how much is out here. Get them slowly to the edge. Take a time.
This is why they give you back the same thing all the time.
There you go.
That is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem.
The other thing to do is to also learn that as much as you are the artist, you are not it. With graphic arts, you're working for someone. You're trying to help them express what they need to be expressed. It might not be the way you personally would express it. It has to be the way that it needs to be done to get to that audience, which is something that applies also in my theater life. When I do a costume, I will have a discussion with the actor or the actress, and they will say, "But I don't like to wear pants, or I don't like to wear a skirt." I say, "You might not want to wear a skirt, you might not like to wear a skirt, but this is not about you. This is about the character. And this particular character needs a skirt because when the director has to turn like that away from the guy, we want the movement of the skirt swirling around her body. So you make a picture, you add to that statement, so that when the person is sitting in the audience and sees that skirt twirl when she turns and walks away, it adds up exclamation point at that moment."
True. Wow. You're good. You could do the directing as well too. Could do some directing. Well, Anya,
Same thing, sitting down and watching.
I don't know if Flavius have much to say, but
Well, we still have a little time left, yeah. Anya can, probably Anya have a little more to leave with our listeners. Because
We don't know.
the next thing is the whole thing of presentation. You can talk a little bit about that presentation, or why is presentation so important, and what we need to do to make sure that what we present, get to the market, it have the effect that you want, the impact that you want.
It goes back to that same thing that we're talking about with Anatomy and the Full Candy.
Yeah.
They watch Full Candy on Food Network, filmed and broadcast from foreign, and think this is the greatest thing since ever, not realizing that it's the same thing that they're doing here at home, but it's packaged differently. It's presented so differently, so we don't see the worth in it.
Before these people on the TV.
There you go. There you go. And chances are that person learned it from somebody who was just like them grandmother who used to do it.
Yeah.
So do not discredit the indigenous knowledge that is around us, because that is what is gonna get you somewhere. You just need to figure out how to package it. You just need to figure out how to present it. I am pleased to see that we are beginning to understand the importance of value added work out here. So like people are doing like pureed pumpkin and putting it in a freeze bag that you can buy in the store. And that will make somebody's life easier. But it's something that your grandma used to have our pumpkin puree to make our pumpkin soup. And although the belief was every time you make pumpkin soup, you have to grate and sing and all of that. Not wrong with finding an easier way and find a way to present it so that people find it acceptable. People like convenience now, which is not necessarily a good thing. A friend of mine used to have a discussion about instant coffee as opposed to boiled coffee. Sometimes some things, sometimes the coffee must parch and boil. Sometimes it should not just come out in a spoon and put in a cup of hot water and walk away with it. Sometimes you need to go through that process of time and patience to understand.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with presentation, because it's taking the time to understand how persons are going to receive it and how you can make an effect and affect that way. And it's funny because sometimes we don't realize the lasting effect that some of these things have on us, because we just take it as it's just like this, it's just like that. But then yet still, if you ask someone of a particular age now, what did a Kelly's bottle soda look like? They knew that their hand could fit all the way around the glass. And they remember that. They remember the K on the top of the cap. They remember the fact that they used to take the cap and beat it out flat and bore a hole and put the string, and they could play the little game with it with the bottle cap spinning. And when you pull your fingers up at it, it goes boom. All of that is packaging.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's packaged and then repackaged as part of your childhood, and that becomes a memory that you carry forever.
And we give thanks.
For children for parents with small children, they know that parents will pass that as a KFC. Not that them know the Kentucky, but them know the same.
And we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule this morning.
Yeah, man.
And from talk to us. And continue with your good work. We know we're going to be seeing lots more on this program as well.
Yeah, man.
So, Flavius.
Yes, thank you very much, Anya.
Yes, sir. No respect, I want no.
Yeah, man, no respect too.
And say hi to the family for me, okay?
Yes.
I certainly will. Certainly will.
You have a pleasant day.
All right, cool. Yeah,
okay,
man, cool.
thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So, Flavius, we come to the end again.
Yep.
Another Real Stuff podcast with some wonderful guests.
Oh yes.
The whole idea of creating a book, is something I think a lot of graphics are. Even I say that to my son too. So sometimes put on your best work, or works the more that you do that. One day you can compile them together and put a little book together, because if a lot of people don't see your work and know who you are, it doesn't matter. You have a book.
But I don't think, in the sense that you are saying it, I don't think somebody like Anya can do that.
Why?
Because work that she does is for clients.
No. I'm not talking clients' work alone.
Oh.
I mean stuff that you have done and you never get to put it out and things like that.
She can I like the idea of the book of Proverbs with illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. That would be great.
I'm sure there's a lot of graphic artists, including Anya, who have done work that they never get for put out or present it, to a client. Destroy it.
Yeah,
somebody might say, create something for me without even telling you what they want. And when you present it to them, them say, oh, I mean, I like that. And then you say, well, tell me what you want.
Yeah.
So you can say, I may go keep this because maybe someday we can use it. I'm talking about things like those.
Okay.
You know, put them out because you never know.
Yeah, but even most of those things, you have to destroy them still.
No, but it's your work. You don't have to destroy them. You can collect them. I've done stuff where, well, maybe because me somebody where they call it. I'm a junkie. We love stockpile and stuff.
If the client is not advertised on it, then you probably can use it. But
I'm not talking client's work, Flavius. I'm saying things that she have done and she never presented. You know, you have sometimes you thought you sit down and your thoughts are run wild and you draw something or you do something. I not put it out. Anyway, before we get out of here, let me go to the health corner this morning.
Yes.
And then do our bit this morning. And then we can get out of here because we have big food stuff coming up tomorrow. So Arthur, take it away, Arthur.
During turmeric's 4,000-year-long march through the history of holistic healing, it has settled upset stomachs, healed colds and disinfected wounds. It has also battled acne, turned around sun-damaged complexions, blessed brides with radiance and basically done so much good that it's become known as one of the hardest working spices in the world. It contains a yellow-colored chemical called curcumin, which is often used to color foods and cosmetics. Turmeric is commonly used for conditions involving pain and inflammation, such as osteoarthritis. It is also used for hay fever, depression, high cholesterol, a type of liver disease, and itching. I am Arthur Kaiser, with today's healthy food. Thank you for watching the Real Stuff podcast.
All right, Flavius. That was Arthur.
Yeah, man, that was a wonderful thing, man. Turmeric, yeah.
I kind of consume it, like, 3 times out of the week.
Okay.
Because I love to make my little paste with it. And do I call it my corona, my virus, virus.
Get some, I need to go back to the market, yeah, I need to get some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's grown in my area, the market always have. We always can in the market. I know you buy the powder, but we can get
the ginger, the one that look like ginger.
Yeah, it looks like ginger.
Yeah. And funny, one time I seasoned up some curry chicken with it,
Yeah, man.
And it came out good. You hear me? Because I realized that's part of what make the curry as well.
Curry, yeah. Yeah.
And it came out good. All I do is just add my other spices them to it, and give it that add a little flavor. So tomorrow we have cook and curry.
Cook and curry.
And the guest would be Mr. Errol Sinclair. Will be back again.
Yeah. Last week he gave us an introduction, so now we're going to come talk about specific dishes what we can cook.
So for make sure you get your books.
Your next week we're having Selena coming back next week.
Oh, Selena will be back.
Yeah, next week, yeah.
That's good.
Give us some Jamaica Barbados food.
Yeah, she did with her first appearance.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you 1 minute.
Well, I'm looking outside and see the sun is still there, so I think today should be hot and nice again. And I don't, well, apart from the COVID numbers and all that, I mean, the news in Jamaica, nothing exciting is happening now. But I suspect that a lot of things will start happening as the days go on, as the new government, get themselves in. Or I think
you guys going under curfew, man.
Yeah, we are under curfew always.
Until October 7th.
Yeah, they have no. They have just they have just extended it. That's all they done. Extended it. Same curfew, 8 to 5. So they extended for another 2 weeks. They are going in 2 week chunks now. Assess after each 2 weeks to see where we are. If the positives are slowing down are increasing, and then they decide what them because they might even move down the groups from 15 to 10. But right now it's at 15. So you shouldn't see more than 15, which I think is a very big group. I am not going to any group that have 15 people. Not even 5. Not even 5. I don't think it's a time for groups now. It's a time to play solo. Use your phone. Let the phone do the work. The only time I'm entering a group, and probably a group of 2, where you go and buy something. Because things is just spreading like wildfire. And them say it's everywhere now. No particular area, no particular parish. It's all over. Spreading all over. So folks, you need to work on our R&D, respect and discipline, and that will carry us through. That is what we need, and that is what we have to do. So until tomorrow.
Yes, take care of yourself, your loved ones, and always remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. You must pray, so continue praying. So this is Franco.
And Flavius.
Wishing you a pleasant morning, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. Tafina to take us out. My bad. I don't know why I keep mixing up these skis all morning. I guess our father won't come out, Well, a little praises, it's good.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know I said me I think I flee. Me I fi take away myself. Me I fi take away myself. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out outside. Me I fi take away myself. I fi take away myself. I have to utilize I wings. Show the eye clean where I is. I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist. But this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel I like a thief in the night. May I forget out outside. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I will. Show the eye a clean pair of heels. I say, yeah.
unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless. Unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless. Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.